No matter you're running an online store or managing a small business, having a reliable accounting tool is essential for keeping track of your income and expenses. QuickBooks is a popular accounting software for managing business finances. It has a user-friendly interface that even beginners can pick up quickly. In this video, I will walk you through 4 common scenarios of how QuickBooks can help you, so you can quickly get a clear picture of what it offers. Okay, let's jump right into the program. So, general navigation is on the left-hand side. You see the left navigation bar that can be collapsed by clicking on the drop-down lists. If you often use a certain feature, you can add it to your bookmarks. There are 2 simple ways to do this. First, click the tag icon on the right side of a feature. If you want to remove a bookmark, easy. Just click the bookmark icon again. Second, when you stay in the target feature page, just click the Add to Bookmarks button. For example, when you are in the page of tax, you could add tax to bookmark by clicking Add to Bookmarks. If you want to remove a bookmark, easy. Just click the bookmark icon again. The gear icon at the upper right corner allows you to go into the settings chart of accounts, user management, and things like that. You also get access to the search box, which allows you to search existing transactions, and also see the most recent transactions that you have created. There's also the Quick Create button, which is that new button at the upper left corner. Clicking it allows you to get a menu of all the transactions you can create here on the home page. Okay, let's start by looking at the first scenario. When you get a new customer, you usually need to send them an invoice. If you don't have the right tools, it can get really messy. For example, using Microsoft Word to make invoices, even if you have a template, you still have to change the details each time. It's easy to make mistakes. So now let me show you a faster and easier way to create invoices. On the left navigation bar, find Sales, then click Invoices. You'll see a button called Create Invoice, and click it. Now you'll be taken to the invoice page. It will ask you to add the customer's data, such as name, email, billing address. Here you can also choose how many days your customer is supposed to pay. Due on receipt means payment for an invoice is expected immediately. There's also a box for the billing address. You can fill it in or leave it blank depending on what the customer needs. Once you get the payment, just click Receive Payment. The status of this invoice will be turned into Paid. Here you get a list of items that you create in your database. These are the services you provide and the products that you sell. You pick whatever item you want to sell. You type in the description, what the product is. You put the quantity and the rate. It will calculate the total amount for you. Optionally, you can charge sales tax. If you have sales tax set up in your system, QuickBooks will calculate sales tax on your invoices and calculate your total sales tax that is due for the month or the quarter, whatever type of arrangement you have with the state. Once everything is ready, just click Save and Send. Before sending the email, you can review the invoice one more time. Now just send the invoice to your customer, and the invoice can be found in the email inbox. One of the most powerful things you can do in QuickBooks is to run reports to see how your business is performing. These reports are not just for your own reference, they also help when you're talking to investors or banks. With the right reports, you can explain your business clearly and make smarter decisions. In general, there are the 3 main reports that can affect your company's value and your ability to get funding: balance sheet, cash flow statement, and income statement. Let's go over how to run these 3 reports. Then we'll show you how you can customize your reports using different filters and ranges so you only see what you need to make the best decisions possible for your business. On the left navigation bar, select Reports and then Standard Reports. In the drop-down list, you can type a report name to look for a report for any area of your business. There is a star icon on the right side of each default report. You can click the star icon and add it to your favorite reports. It will be listed on the favorite block of the report area. The balance sheet shows you a list of all your bank and credit card accounts, as well as other asset, liability, and equity accounts. You see each account and the balance of the account. The balance sheet shows your balances as of today. But if you want to see your balance sheet from a previous date, select the appropriate date from the menu or enter a custom date. If you want to see fewer details for a specific section of the balance sheet, just click the arrows to the left of the account names to collapse the subaccounts. Now you see one line with a total for that section. Select the arrow again to view the details once more. Profit and loss statement and cash flow statement are in the same block, Business Overview. Now select Profit and Loss. QuickBooks displays a report of all your income, cost of goods, and expense accounts. The totals for each account are a summary of all the transactions that affect the account in a specific date range. QuickBooks allow us to customize report to compare our business's performance over each month throughout the year. Select Customize Report. From the dates list, you can select different time ranges. My account doesn't have enough data. If you have enough data, in the column section, you can choose to display the columns by month. Besides, you can also choose to split the report by customer, vendor, item, or other timeframes. In the Reorder tab, you'll see all the columns currently on the report with a check. To remove a column, uncheck it. You can select and drag columns to reorder them. Select More Actions, email report to send it to someone, and you can select Export or Print to export or print to these formats. If you use QuickBooks Online Advanced, you can use your reports to create helpful charts. Select Chart View. Here is the report you built displayed as a chart. Use these settings to change the chart. Now you can customize reports to gain insight into different aspects of your business. QuickBooks helps you generate most of these reports automatically, so you don't have to build them from scratch. And once you understand what they mean, you'll be able to talk confidently to banks or investors, and more importantly, run your business smarter. Now we're going to take a look at how to set up your bank account in QuickBooks and link it with your online banking. So it actually pulls down all of your transactions, all of your deposits, all of your checks into your QuickBooks so you're not having to type in all of them. Okay, let's take a look and get started. So we are going to go to banking and we are going to connect an account. Here is where you do the possibilities that if you're working with a local bank that they may not allow for this, or you may have to contact them directly in order for it to happen. In my case, QuickBooks automatically gives you the options of a lot of the popular banks that a lot of people use, and that is not one of the banks that I'm trying to add. So I will see if I can find mine. A lot of times it may be easiest for you to go ahead and put in your banks. Okay, once you find your bank, you're going to click on it. Customer number. This is going to be your login to your bank account. Okay, and then once you get it in there, it's going to obviously want to verify who you are so you can let it verify if you're setting this up for your customer. Then you want to make sure that they're available to be able to get that code to verify that you're allowed to do this. So once you get your code, you're going to enter it. You can connect all of them for your business. Just go down through and choose to connect them all. If you just want one, then that's what we're going to do. In this case, we're going to bring in the entire year. If you had someone, or you're the business owner, if you already use QuickBooks and now you're going to QuickBooks Online, then all you do is choose when you want to start bringing it in. If you want to go back and choose today, you can customize when you want to bring it in. Here I'm going to go back and I'm going to do the full year and click Connect. This can and may and will take a few minutes, especially depending on how many transactions it is. And then once it connects, it still may take a bit for all of your transactions to actually download. Okay, it says it was successful as far as downloading into here. We could do it also on this screen right here. If we wanted to link another account, maybe you have a bank account, completely different bank that you want to go ahead and link. You can do that here. You can go ahead and categorize your transactions directly from here. But we're going to come in a different way. We're going to say, remind me later. And then when we go back to our banking, we can see that we have our account here, and then it's really trying to help us out on how to do this. And you can see that all of the transactions are in here. Once everything is ready, new transactions of your bank account will be updated every day. In this section, we're tackling a really fundamental but incredibly important issue: how to categorize transactions. If you've connected your bank account to QuickBooks, you know it's constantly pulling in those daily transactions, but that they don't just magically slot themselves into your financial reports. You've actually got to tell QuickBooks what they are. They're in a sort of holding area, waiting for you to categorize them before they officially become part of your books. All right, let's walk through the process. To get started, you'll want to navigate to the Transaction tab within QuickBooks. From there, you'll select Bank Transaction. Once you're there, you'll see a clear block for each bank account and credit card you've connected. Simply select any of those blocks to view the latest transactions specific to that account. What you'll see next is a list of all those transactions that QuickBooks has pulled from your bank. To start categorizing, you'll need to select the individual transaction you want to work with, which will then open up more details for you to fill in. Now, this is where you give QuickBooks the crucial information it needs to understand your money movement. You'll encounter a few important fields here: supplier, who paid you. This field is actually optional, but I highly recommend using it. Why? Because it becomes incredibly valuable later on when you're running reports. It allows you to quickly see who you've paid or who has paid you, which is fantastic for tracking relationships and expenses. Category. This is arguably the most critical field. This is where you select the account that best describes why you spent or received that money. It's essentially telling QuickBooks where this transaction will go within your chart of accounts. For anything related to sales you've made, you'll want to categorize it as income. Be sure to pick the specific income account you use to track those types of sales transactions. Most of the time, if you're recording a purchase you've made for your business, you'll categorize it as an expense. Think about your rent, materials, utilities. These are all common business expenses. There's a less common, but still important category for purchases that are fixed assets. These are items you'll use repeatedly for many years, like a vehicle or a computer. The source notes you won't see these as frequently. And if, for some reason, you're looking through the available categories and just can't find one that fits, don't worry. You have the handy option to add a new one right then and there. A super flexible feature is the ability to split a single transaction into multiple categories if needed. Let's say you made one payment that covered both your phone bill and your internet bill, two different expense categories. You can split that transaction, allocating the correct amount to each category. Just make sure that all the individual split amounts add up perfectly to the total original transaction amount. Once all your details are looking good and accurate, you can click the button Split and Add to proceed. The button in the action field will either say Add or Match. It's important to understand the difference between these two. If you see Add, it means that QuickBooks hasn't encountered this particular transaction before. It's a new entry that you're bringing into your books for the first time. So simply select Add to officially incorporate it into QuickBooks. However, if you see Match, this is QuickBooks intelligence at work. It indicates that the system has recognized this downloaded transaction as one that you've already entered into QuickBooks. This could be something like a bill you previously recorded, an invoice payment you received, or a bank deposit you logged. The whole point of Match is to prevent duplicate entries in your books. QuickBooks is trying to link the bank's record with your existing record. Your job is to review them carefully. If the two transactions genuinely match up, go ahead and select Match. Now, what if QuickBooks gets it wrong and the suggested match isn't actually correct? Don't worry, you have options. You can simply choose Categorize and Add instead. This will treat the downloaded transaction as a brand new entry and add it to QuickBooks, ignoring the incorrect match. Alternatively, if you are absolutely sure you've already entered the transaction into QuickBooks, but the proposed match is wrong, you can select Find Other Matches. This allows you to manually search for and link the downloaded transaction to the correct existing transaction in your books. So, there you have it. By following these steps, you'll be efficiently categorizing all those incoming transactions from your bank and credit cards into QuickBooks. This fundamental process is key to keeping your financial records accurate and ready for reporting. This 10-minute video is definitely not enough. However, if you're in a hurry to get a good idea of what QuickBooks Online is, this video is suitable for you. Check the link in the description below where you can set up a 30-day trial. And if you decide to sign up for your own business, you will get a 90% discount for the first 6 months. If this video helped you get started with QuickBooks, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you next time.